Why it's important to occupy them? Why the hood should be here?
Why the hood should be here?
Yeah.
Well, the hood ought to be the first community to be here because we have been suffering more than any other community with the exception of indigenous brothers and sisters on reservation in terms of education, housing, not enough jobs with a living wage, and a refusal for people to really come to...
Occupying while black. The black experience in the Occupy movement is probably not the same as maybe other ethnic groups in the movement. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they have two movements that, you know, are somewhat aligned with the Occupy movement, but are kind of have their own agenda. It's a little similar to the Occupy movement, and those two movements are the Occupy the Hood movement and Occupy the Dream movement. Talk a little bit about the Occupy the Hood movement.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother, and let it know what you do and why you started. Spell your name out for me too.
My name is Malik, M-A-L-I-K, and I'm a representative and the co-founder of Occupy the Hood. And this is my brother Preach, P-R-E-A-C-H, member and co-founder of Occupy the Hood. So basically, we Occupy the Hood, real simple terms, no mumbo jumbo. We went out to Zuccotti Park. Wasn't many people that looked like us. We felt that we should be present. So I went home, got on the internet real hard body. You know what I mean? People called out, they reached out, even in your city, and we blossomed in from there. You know what I mean? I got a sister named Ife in Detroit who's like the backbone of everything we do. So, you know, from there, that's how we get it popping. But our goals, I mean, it's working already. We already occupying buildings in Harlem. We're already working on urban gardens in Detroit. These are the things we're doing. It's nothing grandeur. We don't have any delusions that we're going to change the world. We just want to fix things in our community, block by block. You know what I mean?
How can people find out how they can get involved with the organization or support some of your initiatives across the country?
Well, if you're from the hood, you are Occupy the Hood. That's first and foremost. Just keep it positive. But you can email me, occupythehood@gmail.com. You can call me.
First, it's a movement that actually kicked off in several cities now, like Atlanta, Philadelphia, New York, Milwaukee. There's even the Occupy the Hood movement here in Richmond. And it was started by Malik, Ife, Preach, and there's another gentleman. And on the Facebook page, they have a quote, "We doing what's good for the hood, period." So a lot of their advocacy is more focused on issues that are affecting the black and Latino minority community. They give us some different stats about the incarceration rates, you know, for African Americans compared to Latinos, with 1 in 3 black males being incarcerated compared to 1 in 17 whites. They also talk about the unemployment rate being double that of whites. You have other statistics going on related to, you know, special education, related to economics, related to education that, you know, are very troubling and a lot more exacerbated, you know, because of race, more so than, you know, class. Also, they tend to, like I said, focus on issues of minority communities such as mass incarceration, unemployment, like I said earlier, homelessness, healthcare disparities, poverty, food security, community development, police brutality, racial profiling, which we've seen with the Trayvon Martin situation, youth programs, reparations, something that, you know, I don't know if the Occupy movement is discussing. Schools, the prison pipeline, you know, we have a lot of failing schools and most of them are full of minorities. Racism, civic engagement, and supremacy and white privilege. And that's another issue that, you know, is kind of specific to the Occupy the Hood movement. A lot of these conversations, you know, that we have in our circles seem to be still in our circles. It still seems like race is still a difficult issue to kind of talk about on a national scale and a scale amongst people of different or diverse backgrounds. So again, this movement, a lot of this stuff is kind of still being, I guess, held within the movement, and the movement is predominantly black, and it comes from out of the civil rights and the Black Power movement. The ideology is Afrocentric, nationalist, black nationalist, Pan-Africanist, more of a liberation theology. And these are theologies that are universal. These are theologies that are not just American, but they are theologies that are practiced by blacks all over the world. These ideologies have been practiced by Marcus Garvey, Huey Newton, several others, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X. So these are nothing new to America. It's just a movement that that is catching steam, and it's kind of aligned with ideas that a lot of black leaders have had before. And it's a shame that these issues still haven't been addressed. And a lot of these leaders have been dead for 30, 40, some 50 years. We're still talking about some of these issues. The Occupy the Hood movement also is online. They also have Twitter pages, they have Facebook pages, they have their own website. So I encourage you to view it just to get more information about them. Because if your opinions or your needs aren't met by the Occupy movement, Wall Street movement, then maybe you want to seek the Occupy the Hood movement. They also acknowledge the genocides that have occurred in America with the Native Americans, the transatlantic slave trade, colonialism, some of the different things that blacks in America, Latinos, Native Americans have experienced, and it's kind of something that that we can relate to, is the oppression, the white oppression, the oppression of men, women, and children historically and now. Neocolonialism is still a problem. Racism is still a problem in America. So they are still addressing issues that haven't been addressed or haven't been resolved.